Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy. Milk.
Did you see Thunderbolts?
No, not yet.
All right. Now, not even what the discussion actually is about, but that's where we start from there. Do you find Florence Pugh to be an attractive woman?
I used to, and then I realized that she's a smoker, and so it killed it for me. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
No. That's a very specific to Dan kind of thing. So I fully understand it from your perspective. I came across a TikTok the other day, and this woman said that men have told her, and men who were like right there, who were coming out of the movie with her, were like, I don't find Florence Pugh attractive, and I'm just like, I don't know what to even say. I'm like, I don't know who you hanging with, because it just seems like wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's absolutely gorgeous on the runway and film and so forth and so on. So I was just like, what's up with these dudes? Did they think that lady was tricking them when she asked that question? Did like that was like something she was asking them to set them up and whatever? But for whatever reason, I was just like, no, this is not the case. I get it that you don't find smoking attractive, and so when you find out people smoke, it just basically kills your willy. Still, the notion of it is you can understand that she was to you an attractive woman, and that she is an attractive woman. She'll spit it for you.
I mean, I think she cleans up nice. Like I've seen her like dolled up on runways and shit. Yeah, you know, she can work the Hollywood makeup magic.
Yeah, but I've kind of seen her bare face too. She has a cute bare face as well. So it was a shocking kind of turn of events.
Enjoy it while you can, because that smoke will ruin it. Gotta age her quick.
We hope that she gets over smoking sooner than later. England is weird that way. You know what I'm saying? They be over there just taking a cigarette to the face and then calling it something rude. So can't trust the Brits for smoking anyway. So yeah, bro, that really kind of smooth took me out. Now, I guess the question then becomes, you know what I'm saying, who are some ladies or gentlemen, I don't care, people that you think are attractive that you have found society is like, nah, man, that person ain't doing it for me and or is whatever. But maybe you got some folk that's in like to me this chick is fire, and you've had a buddy or somebody say or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean that comes up all the time when like people discuss like wrestling women.
Okay.
Like Rhea Ripley's, like I think she's a very pretty woman. But like she's covered in like tattoos, and her like character is like a goth rocker or whatever. So like I have some friends where that's not their cup of tea. Okay. But like I get it, because I'm generally not usually like immediately attracted to like blonde white women. So it's like we all kind of have our preferences. I'm going to throw Rhea Ripley up on this picture of Rhea Ripley, which I find is a fetching photo of her, up on the screen here, y'all. Share. Let me pull this up screen, entire screen, and share. I think she's cute to me. Yeah, and see there, like she's kind of like normal there. Like okay. She's got like her arm tattooed out, but like that's her personal. But like if you go on like her full Instagram page and you find something from her like at like I guess quote unquote work, where she's got like the full wrestling makeup on and shit.
Yeah.
I haven't been on her Instagram page in a long time, so I didn't. Yeah, you see kind of like there, like that's more along the lines of what people normally see on TV, where she's got like the black and purple, like
kind of a gothic look. Yeah, I don't appreciate her in this style of makeup, but again, that's not really what I'm going for there. I like to see people.
Yeah, I think her without makeup, I think she's more attractive as just her normal self than she's like dolled up as Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, fascinating. So it's just, I don't know. It has come to me. That one, like I said, it threw me for such a loop that I was just like, are we tripping? Like, what's going on? I love me some Nia Jax, even though, she's a anti-vax Trumper, but I liked her before I knew that. So what I'm supposed to do with it at this point? So And I know a lot of people are like, nah, I don't like her at all, and this, that, and the third. So I mean, that's my a little wrestling boo, I guess is how I would word that. So I understand that particular perspective. It's just it's always fascinating me what people's tastes are like. You know what I'm saying? What people find attractive and ugly and so forth and so on and all that. So
it's just such a subjective conversation.
For sure.
Everyone's tastes are so drastically different that, it truly is like beauty in the eye of the beholder when it comes to judging someone else's, what you find attractive on someone else's looks.
The new what's her name? Vanessa Kirby, who was going to be Sue Storm in the new Fantastic Four, doesn't really do it for me. But again, blonde white woman, and so we just discussed it. That's not really either of our cup of tea. So, I mean, I know Florence Pugh is a blonde white woman, but it's like, it's different for her.
Florence Pugh did play Paige in the WWE former WWE wrestler, the one that had the sex stuff leak a couple years back, and so she had dark hair in that movie. She was younger though, so
she played. That family of wrestlers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I forget what the name of the movie was.
My Fighting Family or something like that.
I think yes, that sounds about right. Fighting with My Family or something like that. Yeah. I think you're close.
Yeah, don't think on the too hard, people. It's just I'm going to pull up.
I wasn't even trying to look it up.
Oh no. I'm about to pull up Florence Pugh's IG now, so we can.
I've only seen her in like a couple of things, like that WWE Page movie that I was just talking about. Obviously, like Marvel stuff, and then Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
and I think that's like it, unless I'm forgetting something that I've seen her in.
Oh,
I know
okay.
she's done other stuff, but like I'm saying that's all I've watched.
She's just a cutie patootie. You just want to pinch her cheeks. Look at her. It's funny, like I said, I don't know. She's just adorbs. And of course, she has like, the fun little British accent. That's a cool dog. See, I like that makeup. That's a cool little effect. A little long lash kind of dealy. Thunderbolt. Oh yeah, and Bob. But yeah, she does, including this movie where she, where she shaved her hair off in this movie, and apparently Marvel was not too happy about that because we know her hair was still kind of shortish when she started filming Thunderbolts, because she played a character who had cancer, so the hair was short for this movie and so forth. See, right? So, but like I said, I just I it's funny to me that people are like, "Oh man, I don't get down with that." I'm like, and again, maybe it's just that lady's experience. Maybe that those particular gentlemen were. I truly feel, and I don't want. I'm not trying to say. I think they was trying to holler at her, and was trying to be like, "No, I don't find her attractive. I find like you attractive." You know what I'm saying? I think that was what was popping right there, and that's not on some hate shit. It's just how how it was going down at that point in time. But yeah, great actress. Really fun. She used to date Zach Braff for a while there. They were an item. So
yeah,
your man
the age gap there, huh?
Yeah, because he's the same age as me. And
I've noticed a lot more people being extra judgmental on age gaps these days. Particularly from the younger crowd.
So what I have picked out lately is I think people are recognizing what is a dynamic imbalance. Feel me? So like my kid is telling me about somebody that he knows from school that it was at 14 dating some like 21-year-old, and they're still together now. So I mean, whatever. But that man is, of course, a man now of 20 extra, let's say 4+ years. So he's like 25, 26, and this is 17, 18 year, not 17, about to be 18-year-old. And it's like,
for me, they got to at least be 18. Like they have to be at least be an adult.
I feel like I
know the gap gets less weird as the older you get. Like the same 7 year, 8 plus whatever year gap. Like when you're in your 30s and 20s, it's not weird. But when you're like 21 and they're 14, that's a little fucking weird.
It's a lot fucking weird. It's such a maturity gap difference that I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? Besides wanting, it just makes me think you are into children. Is what it comes down to. I'm gonna be real with you. So
yeah, because like that person's body just started changing. Their brain chemistry is like all out of whack, and like they're like entering high school, and you're damn near getting out of college, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I could build a future here. Like, come on. Now, like if they're out of college and you're out of college, and like you're a little more experienced in the work in normal life, you can work through that. Yeah, but like they may not even have had their first period yet, and you're over here like, man, let's go have dinner together.
It's weird. And of course, that's not what's happening. They're not dating them. They're not taking them to meals at a nice restaurant or to the cinema.
I believe it's a G word that people would say here. Rhymes with broom.
Oh, facts. That's definitely some grooming going on there. And it's wild and it's gross and so forth. And I feel like people are like starting to recognize the nonsense off go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just when you hear about these teachers fucking around with their students, it's wild and so forth and so on constantly. And I mean, with so much regularity that you think they'd be mad about it, but it's always preachers talking to the youth group and so forth and hanging out with them. And I'm just like, bruh. So
I saw there were a lot of people today that were quite excited by the news of the Pope, but then I also had a few people who were making church jokes, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
it's always going to be people that do that.
Well, I mean, the church, the Catholic Church, yes, sure thing, but churches in general have a history of hiring bad guys and bad people who do bad things. And so, of course, if this man becomes the leader of that church, they're going to look at his history and been like, oh, look, he helped this dude who had credible charges against him hide out and not get, sent to jail, sent to whatever. I don't know what they wanted to happen there. But it's not wrong. It's just.
Is it bad that, like, I don't follow any of it and that, like, I don't care?
That you are not trying to worry yourself about people being molested in churches?
No. Like, I don't follow like church news. Like, I don't know who this guy is that got elected Pope. I don't know shit about him. Like if it's a presidential election, I know nothing about this candidate because like I'm not a religious person. So like the happenings of the church, like they're elected officials. Like I don't care.
I don't know why so. Why I care is simply because the history and the pageantry of electing a pope. That's me. That's where I'm at. I was like, oh shit, white smoke, because my phone buzzed like white smoke has been seen at the Vatican.
I can appreciate the pageantry of it, like the pizzazz, the showmanship.
Yes.
And like I did get a little bit above behind the curtain. Like I don't know how historically accurate that
Conclave movie
Conclave movie was that I watched.
Yeah,
but like I got kind of the gist of a little bit of like the happenings of like the behind the curtain. I would say like from a theatrical sense,
for sure.
But like it's not like I have like a pope that I was or a cardinal or whatever that I had my money on where I was like, oh come on man, it's got to be Louis the 27th. Like let's ride out here.
Do you know that they had odds on that? And I think the odds
I hope they would. I
think early on the odds were toward the one of these the Filipino cardinal. He clearly didn't win, and so people were pretty hype about that one. There was talk of maybe an African cardinal because we just got our first South American, cardinal cardinal that became Pope in Pope Francis, and so it's that kind of stuff. So of course, why I was interested in this is of course there's the history of the history of the Holy See in general, and your boy loves him some history, and I was like, man, wonder what his name's going to be because a lot of things go into people's names. So like when Benedict came in and called himself Pope Benedict, people were like, oh shit, we know what this is about to be.
because that name has some background, some history to it. He was like the 16th Benedict, if I'm not mistaken, and he just seemed real, like he was about to come in and be real conservatives, I guess how people were saying, and he kind of was. And so I was like, oh, dude, what's this guy going to come in at? You know what I'm saying? And so there's all these names that have been pope. So John is the most popular pope name. Pius is a big one that had a lot of back in the day. Pope Innocent was there were multiple Pope Innocents. There's only been 2 John Pauls. It was 1 and 2. And the first one, they called him like the smiling Pope, who died of a heart attack maybe only a little bit more than a month into his job, which is why the guy who became Pope John Paul II was like, let me be John Paul II. Let me honor my predecessor and so forth and so on. So the name is what I was like, I wanted to know what the name was going to be and what the name might mean. And when he went with I think Leo is when he went with Pope Leo 14th. I don't know what my man, let's just look at the new Pope. I'm the friggin' Pope. Leo the 14th is what his title is. But I find that, so his name is Robert Prevost, and Cardinal Robert Prevost. That's his name. So he's basically Pope Bob, and I think that's dope. Pope Bob from Chicago. So like that's pretty classy. He's the first American Pope. He's the very first from over here in the New World. Well, not the New World, because of course, like I said, Pope Francis is from Argentina, so that counts as the New World too. But that's pretty swell too. And they seem to be seems to be a mindset that he is going to be similar to Francis, and Francis is the one who Francis basically gave him the position he was in. He's in the group that chooses the bishops of the church. So he's already, he already had some juice, in the situation. They seem to think he's going to be following Francis's lead on things. But the thing is, Francis was kind of as chill as a pope could be about gay people. Not really chill, but as chill as one could be in that situation. Whereas this dude is like, nah, man, that shit's against the scriptures. So it's like, he don't like President Trump. He wants the environment. He wants to fight for the environment, but also he don't like gay people. So it's like, you get like, okay, he's kind of liberal, in the sense of, I guess, a church liberal, but then he don't like gay people. So that's not liberal at all, really. And so, Pope shit. And of course, like I said, I want to know about this because I like knowing about these guys and their history and how they intend to lead a church of 1.4 billion people, from around the world. And we'll see. We'll see how my man Pope does it. But Pope really need to, like I said, clear out the damn pedos in his church situation, because they exist. But all these churches need to be doing that. I'm saying the Southern Baptist Church and so forth and so on, and just the regular Baptist Church and the Methodists, whoever else. If you got bad guys in your operation and you know about it, why are you doing anything but getting rid of them? So, and like I said, that's why, and like as Box pointed out, this age thing really does matter. It's weird when people are basically dating people whose frontal lobe has not been fully developed. And it's not weird because it's weird. It's weird because it's gross. And it's why we say, Drake, hey Drake, we hear you like him young. Because you was kicking it with Millie Bobby Brown. You was kicking with all these other 17-year-olds, people who just turned 18 years old. It comes off as weird. It's why we call you a pedophile, because we gotta think you have a pedophilic tendencies, Drake. Sorry, bud. So that's what's up. If you were wondering, that's why. But there you have it. Florence Pugh, lovely. Far too young for an old man like me. But I like her in the movies. And she seems to be a fun person. And she seems to be having a good time of doing her various roles. And I dig that too. So that's what's on and cracking, y'all. I'm going to rap to you. We're going to do a show because I love rapping to you people. It's a good time to be had. I'm going to read it more than rap it. But then I get going, I always end up rapping it to you anyway, because I can't help myself. I get a good time going. I'm like, yes, let me start flowing. I got verbs, skills, babies and bills, a brother who smoked krills and still trying to get himself together from it. No one can quite run it like me. I'm on the cutting edge of what's alleged to be hot. And when you rock, it's just impersonations of me. The writer's MC, MP with the V in the middle. I belittle your plan, courtesy of NY, Dirty C, my man. My base of fans is made up of many, with kids allergic to belts letting their mind melt from drinking the Henny. And them straight and narrow types who be waiting to hear. Them drums say the revolution is near. Are you listening? Are your eardrums open for christening? We God body MCs with these tools while some others play God, they just goddamn fools with it. I don't cuff mics, I rough mics up rough and rugged, yet the girls still love it. Still in all 5-0 came to my mic check, telling me I left lacerations around my mic's necks. Domestically disputed, and you just might get the undisputed underdog serving y'all threat. Much more is what we got in store. Just believe it. It's a great song, y'all. It's much more. It's by De La Soul. The first time I heard that song was on the Chappelle Show's like second episode because he just had people doing live music and he just hanging out in a bus with, I think it might have been the first episode even, with De La Soul. And they just rapped this song like live on Dave Chappelle Show. It was just crazy. And it's like, I love that song a lot. Plus, I miss the Chappelle Show. Not the Chappelle Show as a wall, but the Chappelle Show was an amazing time. That time in television and history was pretty dope. But hey, welcome to it. It's episode 523, and we can get our Dance Dance Revolution on. I'm your host, Internet Taro 713, joined by my other host, Lunchbox 2099. What's the good word, sir?
Oh, man, just spreading the gospel about peptides.
I like that you out here, especially because these pharmaceutical companies are trying to, well, I think just one in particular is trying to fight back against it.
Oh, like the judge ruled in favor of the FDA yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. I went up in my dosage yesterday on the main one I've been taking.
Yeah.
And it's today, like, it's really kicking in. Like, I'm fucking tired right now. Like, I was literally laying on the couch like an hour and a half before we were getting ready to do the show. And there was like a part of me that was hoping that you would text me to cancel just so I could go lay down in bed.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'll power through. But today, like, it's like, I basically take, like, I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I'm currently taking 2 shots a week. I take them on the same day. Mm-hmm. For people who don't know what it exactly is that I'm talking about, there's like, I'm sure have seen the commercials for like Mounjaro and Zepbound because they play them all over the place. The ingredient that's in those shots that helps with weight loss and stuff, I'm currently taking the like future version of where it does one more thing than that particular ingredient does in those shots. So I'm taking like one that hasn't been FDA approved, but like it's gone through clinical trials and shit. And it seems like it's safe. So I went up a milligram in that yesterday for the first time in like 6 weeks. So I took 6 milligrams of that one. And then I take another one that's basically like an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
And I thought I was taking 1 milligram, but apparently my stepmom juiced me up to almost twice that yesterday. Cause like I texted her today based on how I felt. Like I did not want to eat food today at all. Mm. And I don't mean that in like, I'm trying to actively not eat. My body just does not want food.
Okay.
I did eat today. Don't get me wrong. Like I had to force myself to eat. I didn't eat a lot. Yeah. I ate like 2 meals and a protein shake, but like I'm fucking stuffed.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even want to eat the food I ate. I just ate because I knew that I needed to eat some food. Mm-hmm. And I have not felt like this to this degree ever on these shots. Like I've had it before where like I got full quickly, but I still got hungry.
Yeah.
Like I'm not fucking hungry whatsoever right now. Like I haven't been hungry all day. I literally just ate because I knew I needed to. And so it's like, it's this weird feeling of like not wanting food that I'm not used to. Cause that's not been my life for 40 years almost.
How your brain or body functions normally. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, I said it's basically not how your brain or body has functioned all these years.
Yeah, it's like I've trained my brain to want food even when my body doesn't actually need it.
Yeah.
And so it's like food's been tied to my emotions. It's been tied to events. Yeah. So it's like I've taken food from just something we need to survive, and I've turned it into some sort of like mental emotional crutch trigger.
Yeah.
And like right now, it's like I have no desire for that shit whatsoever. I'm burping right now. Like my buddy like made a DiGiorno pizza this morning, and I ate a couple slices of it at like 1:00 in the afternoon. Like I hadn't eaten anything all day before that. And then 2.5 hours ago now, I had like one of my meal prepped meals that I get from that service.
Yeah.
It was just some Swedish meatballs with some egg noodles. And then I drank a protein shake. And I'm fucking stuffed, and I'm over here burping because like my body is just like, all right, we're good. Like it slows down your digestion, so it sits in your stomach a little longer, so you get a little gassy and shit like that. But like I'm drinking water, so it's filling my stomach up on the back end.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I have no fucking desire for food right now whatsoever, and like I'm good.
Well, there you go, people. The peptide game. Now, so what if siding with the FDA? What does that mean?
So basically what's been happening is before the main company that produced tirzepatide that has the patent on it, Eli Lilly, they had a shortage. So that's how all these other companies where you see the commercials for like Mochi and Hims and there's like, I think it's like 5450 or something like that. Arco, like all these different like compounding pharmacies that stepped up to produce the ingredient and prescribe it to people while Eli Lilly had a shortage going.
Mm-hmm.
They basically like are trying to continue their business, but I guess the way that the laws work is like once the company that has the patent that produces the peptide ingredient, the injections, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Once they like declare that like the shortage is over, all the places that like were compounding the ingredient, producing it to keep up with the supply, are supposed to cease and desist. Well, they're trying to fight it because they want to continue making profits, but two, they're like, well, there should be more to this than you just telling the FDA like, okay, we're good now. Like, where's like an audit? Where's proof that like you have like supply again? Like, you know, they feel like the FDA is just kind of like taking their word for it and trying to like shut everyone else down now, which is probably true.
Yeah.
But I guess like, you know, like these places have been fighting it because Eli Lilly's been sending out like lawsuits and cease and desist and shit. And I guess a judge ruled in favor of the FDA, like not making like not allowing like everyone to continue to make it. They're basically enforcing the Eli Lilly only now, and they gave the FDA approval to do that, or they ruled in FDA's favor of shutting everyone else down and not just, you know, like going back to Eli Lilly.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's like some companies that I heard are trying to do more specific style stuff where they want you to get blood work every couple weeks, and then they're going to try and do like a workaround where they cater your medicine to your specific needs as a way of trying to like circumvent the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
So that'll probably end up in court. Which I actually, the way it sounded to me, sounded like a more sensible approach to like actual healthcare.
Yeah.
Of like doing a person's blood work, figuring out what they need, and then helping them with that, rather than just, oh, you're fat, here you go, here's a shot, take it. Yeah. Like there's, you know, it's more personalized healthcare seems like a win, but I'm sure the way our system is, like that'll get shot down.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord, the setup. Well, hey, here you go, people. That's the peptide game in my man Box's life currently. That wasn't even story time with Lunchbox. It was a story from Lunchbox. Just kind of worked out that way. Let's talk news. I got two stories for you. This first is from a scene from Vince Gregoric.
Exclusive rendering shows how Cleveland Browns would renovate the existing lakefront stadium. As the Haslams push for a dome in Brook Park, scenes obtain a rendering of the much talked about but never publicly seen Plan B, which remains a real possibility. Jimmy and Dee Haslam have been anything but shy in sharing imagery of the domes and surrounding development they hope to build in Brook Park. The possible future home of the Browns, a $2.4 billion project with a proposed $1.2 billion privately financed by the Haslams and $1.2 billion coming from public coffers in the form of state and county bonds, has been teased in photos, videos, and sizzle reels as the team sells the ideal to government officials, business leaders, and the public. But what they haven't shared publicly are how renovations at the current lakefront stadium would look. They clear the clear and admitted option number 2. For years before the pivot to Brook Park, those plans weren't secondary, but instead at the forefront of the discussions with the city, county, and state. And through late 2023 and early 2024, the Haslams did share renderings of the renovation plans in presentations with assorted officials, stakeholders, and business leaders in the regions, but not in the public. Even as they acknowledged last year, there were 2 real options. Renovation is not, after all, the plan the Haslams prefer at this juncture, but it is one that, given the current budget process in Columbus and opposition to the Brook Park move from both Cuyahoga County and the city of Cleveland, remains a distinct possibility. But more on that in a minute. The public does have its first look at what the renovation of Huntington Bank Field would look like, thanks to an image obtained by Scene showing a rendering by the team. The single image is part of a larger set of renderings that show other angles and how the stadium fits in the planned lakefront transformation project. Asked for comment, Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne, who alongside Mayor Justin Bibb has been included in those previous conversations, told Scene he's glad part of the project is finally being published as the public debate continues. From day one, I said we need to reveal your lakefront transformation plan as well so the public can get an honest comparison of the 2 plans, because both involve a request of the public for subsidies and support, Ronayne said. Ronayne, who first saw a presentation from the Haslam Sports Group on the proposed renovation in late 2023 and has staunchly opposed the possible move to Brook Park, told Scene. They have never revealed what they shared with other members in the community, business leaders, Chamber of Commerce members, public officials. It's only fair to the public to have a full view and not one side of an argument. Share it with your partner, the public, if that's what you're going to call the public, he added. Again, you're going to call them your people, then why not share this idea with the people? There's more to that story. I actually just want to show you guys this rendering. Once again, share my screen. And yeah, hit that with the old boom. And so this is what Huntington Field could look like if it were a part of an overall lakefront renovation that the city has been talking about for a very, very, very long time.
Oh man, we had a hell of a discussion about this in the group chat yesterday.
Oh, nice. Of course, it looks great. It's kind of similar to what they did with actually the Rocket Mortgage. What the hell is the Rocket? What is it called now? Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one buddy said it looked like the Wish version of Rocket Arena.
I actually do like the way this looks.
It's trash. It's beyond trash. There's so many things about this image that I commented on to my friends. A few of them are logistical.
Okay.
One, if you look at the front of the stadium here where they've got these like lines and trees and all this shit.
Yeah.
None of this space here is even logistically possible for anyone who's ever been on that street. They would know. The stadium as it currently sits with all this extra bullshit on the outside of it, like the casing, we'll call it, is like 15 feet from the curb as it currently stands.
Yes.
Right? So you have all this extra curb space here in this picture that's not possible. Then you go forward past this, there's a 6-lane fucking street here with parking spots. That road that currently goes in front of that stadium is one lane on each side with parking spots. So you're telling me that a stadium that currently has 15 feet worth of gap from the stadium to the street, I know I'm probably being a little critical. It's maybe more like 25, but it's not very far. It's not what they have here.
You're not wrong when you say 15 feet. Don't ever get that twisted.
Yeah, it's close. Like the ticket office is like, it's like you get out of the car and you're at the ticket window.
Yeah.
So all this space right here in this picture doesn't exist. Then the current street, they want to make it 3 times bigger, even though where this tree is in the bottom left-hand corner, that's where the fence for the fucking freeway is. So are you gonna just get rid of the freeway?
Well, yeah, that's the point. They would build out going that way, going south from the stadium. That's the whole point. Yeah, they would.
So then we're just not gonna have a freeway that goes through downtown. You're gonna have to go around downtown.
Yes, because we do have a freeway that goes around downtown already. It's just on the other side there. So what you do is you cut off the lake part of the highway right now that we have. Plus, you know how they already cut the what is, saying, how over here by Edgewater, you know how they slowed it down from 50 to 35 already? It's basically just, all right, all of that becomes just a long street. Yeah, that's exactly what the intention is to do with this whole area. It requires a lot. It means these dreams of doing the lake situation have to actually come true. But like I said, I don't mind it. I get your trepidation about a said project, and what's funny is now that it's out there, of course, people are like, yeah, that's kind of dope. And it's like I said, I know you and your group are having a back and forth about it, but a lot of other people are like, wait a minute, we could do this. Well, we could do this. What the fuck is the point of building a whole, stadium over here across the way, a dome, in a whole nother city and so forth and so on. And I get it. Apparently this would make the stadium get about, I think what they described is 100 days more of activity in it. And so I'm like, okay, that sounds more likely than what they're trying to claim is going to happen in a dome in Brook Park. Just got to be real with you. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it seems more likely or more plausible. But hey, who fucking really knows, y'all? I just it is something they probably should have instead of just saying dome, you could be like, hey, this is another possibility, because it exists as a possibility. Just this is just as possible as the dome at this point, So if indeed the public is a part of this situation, we probably should be given all the options before you decide, hey, pay for this. So that's just real to me. But that's what's going on there, y'all. I thought I'd share that little story. I got one more for you that I'm very, it's good news. So this is from the Ohio Capitol Journal. Marty Schlayton on the byline. Ohio libraries win big Tuesday. If you didn't know, and a lot of people, trust me, didn't. We had an election Tuesday here in the great state of Ohio. Only one thing on the ballot here in the Cuyahoga County, the county box and I call home, and that was on issue 2, which is basically reing up funding for fixing roads, which we're required to do every 10 or so years. So it's just continuing forth. Every single library levy on Tuesday's ballot passed in Ohio, and none of them were close. The victories come as Republican officials at the state and federal level look at cutting library funding. There are 13 levies on the ballot, 8 renewals, 2 replacements, 2 new ones, and a bond. The least successful of those for the Delaware County District Library and the Troy-Miami County Public Library passed with 56% of the vote. That's the least successful ones, meaning well over half. The most successful for the Nade Hutton, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Gnade Hutten. Nade Hutton is what I'm going with. Public Library received a whopping 85% of the vote. On average, voters agreed to pay local taxes to support their libraries by a 19-point margin. These results reflect the deep connection communities have with their libraries, Michelle Francis, executive director of the Ohio Library Council, said in a written statement. They're a testament to the trust voters place in libraries, not only as centers for learning and literacy, but also as hubs for the workforce development and digital access. The results come as the budget proposed by the Republican-controlled Ohio House, which would spend almost $91 million less on public libraries than the draft proposed by Republican Governor Mike DeWine. In addition, the House budget would change library funding from a percentage of the state's general fund to a fixed line item. The Library Council has said that it would increase the possibility that at some point it could be eliminated altogether. At the federal level, the Elon Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency has proposed eliminating the Institute of Museum and Library Services. That grant-making agency has a budget of $290 million a year. Earlier this month, a federal judge temporarily stopped an executive order by President Donald Trump to eliminate the institute after 21 state attorney generals sued to stop the order. The institute provides funding for the State Library of Ohio, which has a brick and mortar location in Columbus. It supports summer learning programs, reading programs for the blind and deaf, and the Ohio Digital Library, which helps local libraries provide audio and ebooks. Polling shows that public libraries are highly popular with huge bipartisan swath of Americans. A 2022 poll was conducted by the Hart Research Associates and North Star Opinion Research on behalf of the American Library Association. It found that 89% of respondents agreed that local public libraries play an important role in communities across the country, including their own. In addition, 75% of Democrats, 70% of Republicans, and 56% of independents, because independents be on some bullshit, said they oppose the removal of books from our public libraries. Public support is loud and clear, said Francis of the Ohio Library Council. We hope state leaders recognize how much their constituents rely on library services. If the federal government and then of course our state government will take it away, then I guess we as a people have decided, fine, we'll do it ourselves, and then we put a glove on and go snap our fingers once we get all the damn Infinity Stones. So that's what's calculating in the realm of libraries in the great state of Ohio, and I fuck with it. Of course, the long and the short way. But that was your news for this week. Box, what do you have separate that you care to share with the listeners this week? Do you have any other things you want to talk about before I go click and play on your segment here?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I barely left the house in the last week. Like, I shit you not. Like, I went to my dad's on Monday and today.
Yeah.
For Monday, for reasons that I can't discuss live. And other than that, I've been at the house. I watched the Cavs lose. Couple heartbreakers. I just been home. I literally haven't gone anywhere. Like, I walked outside the other day and I'm like, holy shit, sun.
Same. Here, I'm just gonna play your intro because I like to have it.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too. I guess one thing I can talk about.
Oh, wait, that worked out. It's a delight every time. I love watching it and hearing it.
I literally hear the music and I just start kind of like slow dancing over here.
What tidbit would you like to add on top of your discussion of peptides earlier? Forgive me.
I would think so. I get this email quarterly, and I always just kind of delete it. And so what I'm getting at here is when I worked my old job, like before my current job, so this would have been 14 years ago. Like I think I just celebrated in that it happened, but not celebrated in that no one actually acknowledged it happened. My 13-year anniversary at my company that I'm employed at currently was last week. Didn't get an email, didn't get a hey, you've been here. Didn't get nothing. I guess they'll only do the 5s and 10s on those. So my previous employer, which everyone here knows was Goodwill.
Yeah.
When I worked there, they had set us up with it was a 403B like thrift retirement account at like Mutual of America or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like not a lot of money got put into it back then because I didn't work there that long or make enough money for that much to go in there.
Yeah.
But that money's just been sitting there for like, I think they opened it, like I maybe had it for like a year before I got canned.
Okay.
So like that money's been sitting there for about 14 years now.
Yeah.
And I never did anything with it. I think I may have moved what kind of fund it was going towards or something like that. But I never did anything with it because I'm like, well, I can't really do anything with it. So I just got to the point for years where I was just fucking deleting the emails or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Because it was barely anything, right?
Yeah.
And so like I got an email about it the other day. And I was like, let me see what's going on in here. So I had to like do my password because I couldn't remember my password. And then, of course, it's the typical, like, I go to put in the new password and it's like, you can't use your current password as your new password. I'm like, well, fuck, can I go back and just use it now that I figured it out? But so I had to reset the password. I get in and I see the account's got like $3,500 in it. And I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like, the fuck should I do with this? So I started like looking at it and I figured out that I can withdraw money out of it. Okay. I can just basically take the money, but like at a penalty because obviously I'm at retirement age. So I was looking at it last night a little bit. And if I take out like 100% of it, like basically if I just kind of close the account, they'll take like 20% for like penalties and taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get like $2,800 in cash that I could just get out of it, which I'm like, kind of like, all right, well, I could just let this sit here and continue to maybe, you know, accrue interest over the years and kind of have like a, kind of like when you put money in your winter coat and then like you find it later, except this would get a little bit of interest on it, you know?
Yeah.
Or I could just fucking take the money now, be done with all these fucking emails every quarter that I don't care about, and just throw the money into like my personal savings. So like I kind of want to do option 2. Like I know I guess the smarter option is to just leave the money there and not touch it. But like I kind of feel like I don't give a fuck and I just want the money out and I want to be done with it because it's also kind of like my last tie
connection
to that part of my life.
Yeah.
And if I just wash my hands of it, then I'm done and like I could just kind of like focus on the other shit I'm doing. And also that like would kind of like finish my goal of like upping my savings account amount for potential layoff situations or whatnot that may arise. But I guess technically I could just leave that money sit there and do the same thing if I did lose my job. But it's just like I kind of just want to do it, but I know it's not smart.
I mean, if nothing else, you do play smart with your finances. It's going to be saved regardless, is what you're saying, basically, right?
Yeah, like I'm not planning on like taking it out and like going and buying something with it. It would literally just go into my personal savings, which is why I know what I want to do is stupid.
It seems like you're just going to take a 20% hit to save it in a different account.
Yeah.
And that does not seem wise.
But also, I'm going to take a 20% hit no matter what, like unless I leave it there till retirement.
Yeah. And
so, which is 20 years. I think that account is technically 20 years from now because I think it's like 59 and a half when I could get that money penalty free or whatever. Yeah. So, like, am I going to like, I'm trying to think like, am I really going to leave this here for another 20 years or like,
is it smarter to make it liquid that you can actually just get a hold of in the event of emergency?
That's my thing is like if I just take it, then I could literally do anything I want with it. I could put it into stocks. I could put it into savings. I could buy precious metals with it. I could buy crypto if I wanted. Like I literally open it up to an avenue of different design if I want. Yeah. Or I could just leave it where it sits and leave it in its current avenue. Like I know the smart thing. But I also kind of feel like I'd be okay if I did the wrong thing. Like I'd be fine either way.
Because it's not really wrong. It's different.
Yeah.
It will cost you 20%, but I mean, you can afford that 20% L. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, if it was a greater sum of money. Yeah. Because like I looked at how much I would get back out of it if I pulled it, and it was like 28 something.
Yeah.
So I basically be giving up $700.
I kind of always I look at my my job we currently work at. Because I've been there so long, I actually have a small pension, just sits there. So,
I have one too.
Yeah.
I was still I worked there at the time when we still got that.
Yeah, your ass slid in under the door right there. So it's a few grand, like you said. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder if it's also a situation where it's like, could I maybe move that somewhere? Take a hit.
Know, like I haven't been able to figure out how we could touch that.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe, but yeah, that's actually something. Maybe it should be considered. But also,
my dad was trying to convince me to take a 401k loan to go buy gold with, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, pops.
What is
my work life situation right now? Is I feel a little too unstable for me to be YOLO in my 401k on gold.
I kind of understand his affinity toward precious metals as if they will that's going to be what we're going to be spending when it goes down. But will we be? And how do we? I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because
I think it's more for a global thing rather than a United States thing. Basically, like the U.S.'s money is worthless. The whole financial system
is
it's a big Ponzi scheme, and like I sound like my dad, which is like fucking driving me nuts. But our entire system it's a big fraud. Like they just create money out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like I saw something yesterday about like the government buying like their own bonds back. Like they're gonna print fake money to buy back their other fake money. It's a giant fucking scam, and that's part of why, like, when all the other nations were kind of getting sick of our shit and our money started tanking, it's because of that. Like, no one wants to take our fake dollars anymore, and so it's hurting our economy. This is not financial advice. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. Do not sue us. We are not telling you what to do with your fake paper.
Trust me, I'm not going to go buy any precious metals because, again, I don't know how precious metals spend. So currently, my fake money works. And so I just got to go with what it is. And like I said, if the world go crazy and go real crazy, I don't think I got to worry about it too much. I'll just be dead. And that's fine too.
That's what I've told to some people. They're like, oh, what are you going to do in an apocalypse? I'm like, I'll probably be fucking dead.
I'm fat, y'all, and I got
I'm fat and I'm middle-aged. Like, I ain't going to make it long. Like, well, I'm going to turn into some sort of fucking Bear Grylls survivalist out here all of a sudden. Like, I have not spent my life training for such an event.
Yeah. So,
it's a wrap. I'm going to have to be like fucking dude in Walking Dead. And I'm going to have to convince some army types that they need me to go to Washington, D.C. to fucking find the zombie cure.
Yeah. So, again, I get the concern. I get the ideal. Just doesn't really make sense for me. So
I think the other thing sloshing around in my head is like, if I take that money out of there and put it into my emergency fund, which has been a gold mine to make that bigger.
Yeah.
Because like I do foresee things on the horizon I don't think I'm long for this situation based on the way things are going, which I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But like that would also free me up then to like kind of like either start moving like excess money into other things. Kind of like I could wipe my hands of that. Like that money would like finish off that goal.
Yeah.
And then I could do other things. Also, I'm turning 40 this year, and I do want to do something for my 40th birthday. So it would be nice to have like the money to like take a trip and not have to worry about like I know I don't technically have to worry about that kind of shit because I do manage my situation well. Yeah. But I get fucking guilty spending money on things that aren't like bills or like essentials. Like celebrating my life, to me, it feels like a waste of resources, even though I know I need to enjoy my life. That's part of why, like, where my head's been at lately is like, I'm finding that now as I'm getting older, I don't give a shit about my job even more as the days go by. And like, if I were to be kind of old yellered, I think I'd figure it out. And I think like it would like force me to maybe try and do something that I actually give a shit about. Because right now I just do this every day because it provides money that I need to survive, but I don't actually give a shit about any of it.
Okay. You ain't telling me nothing but a word, bro. Agreed. So, yeah.
So it's I'm gonna keep doing it until like they tell me I can't.
Yeah.
Because like I need the healthcare and like I make a livable wage for someone with my situation.
Yeah.
But like my passion's not there.
Yeah. I'm going to sign off on taking the money out of this account that you barely knew existed.
That's the other thing too. It's like I kind of like it's like found money almost. Like I knew that it was there, but like it was like you had to remind me about it.
That shit could have been $20. It could have been $200.
Yeah.
To find out it was $3,500, basically $2,800 when it's all said and done. Come on.
It's gone up like from what I remember it being at back in the day to now. It's gone up like $2,000 in like 13 years.
Yeah, which means it's not really growing at any kind of exponential rate.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it wasn't a lot in there to begin with because like they canned me not long after I got the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of time to kind of like get the
build it
up. The seeds in there for the growth.
Yeah. So yeah, we've discussed it. We've done the numbers now. We know it works. Get the bread. Fuck it.
Yeah. I didn't bring it up to my dad because
he just been telling you to buy gold.
Yeah, he would tell me to buy gold. Like I have bought a little bit of precious metals, like nothing crazy. Like but it was because like there's this exchange, it's called Apex. I think I mentioned it on the show once. And I got their credit card like 2 months ago. And because it doesn't hurt to diversify. Like you should be diversified out there. Like this is not financial advice, but you should be diversified. And the credit card kind of like gave a bonus of basically they gave you like $150 in credit if you spent $1,500 with their credit card in the first 3 months of getting the card.
Yeah. And
so like I did that easily because like I went to a concert with some friends and who bought the tickets. I put it on my credit card. I bought tickets to 2 comedy shows and got like basically I credit card churn through my friends by buying the tickets for groups. And so it's like I spent the money within like almost a month and a half when I didn't even really spend all that much money.
Yeah.
And so I got the bonus and I bought like a gram of gold and 2 silver coins last night. And the silver coins were just so I could get the free shipping. So like I spent $50 of actual like real money for a little speck of gold and like 2 1-ounce coins of silver. So don't rob me. I'm not fucking loaded with metal over here.
He's no Scrooge McDuck. And how many of y'all thought he was about to take a gram of Coke? Some of y'all did.
That has value too. But yeah, like if I had this conversation with my dad, he probably would have told me to buy gold with it because I did something that I don't usually do, and I basically bought emotional insurance against the Cavs on both games. And so, like that first game, I thought there was a possibility we could lose.
Yeah, you said it last week.
We talked about last week, yeah. And so the Pacers, I think the first game, they were like plus 290 or whatever on the one sports book. And I threw $25 on them. So I'm like, all right, if the Cavs win, I'm happy and I'm out $25. If the Cavs lose, I'm sad, but at least I gain almost $75. Well, the Cavs lost. Yeah. And so I gained almost $75. Then when I heard about how fucking hurt our dudes were, and I was like, well, shit, I don't think this is going to go well because I know Darius's soft ass ain't going to play through that toe. Mobley, they're saying he can't walk. And fucking DeAndre Hunter dislocated his thumb on his shooting hand. I'm like, there's no way in hell 3 of our top 6 players are going to play in this game. And I'm like, so it's going to come down to Donovan having to play superhero and the rest of our team having to step up. And the Pacers for game 2, with all of our dudes being hurt, were plus 325 on that same sports book. They had worse odds in the second game when all our dudes were hurt than they did in the first game. So I was like, fuck it. And I threw $50 on them on the one sports book where they were actually plus 350. And then I had thrown 25 on the other sports book when I saw the plus 325, and I didn't cash it out.
Yeah.
And then I had a 25% boost with like a $10 limit that I threw on them like 10 minutes before tip off for like another plus 290 or something. So basically, when the Cavs blew that fucking game, which now the NBA has come out and said probably shouldn't have happened because they fucked us on 2 of the Pacers' free throws, the one where they got the dunk, and then the other one where Halliburton got his own miss and made the 3 to win the fucking game.
Yeah.
Neither of them should have counted. And so the Cavs should have won that game. But anyway, because of that, I profited $306 on the Cavs losing game 2. And so, like, I told my dad about how I basically won almost $400 off the Cavs losing those 2 games, even though, like, I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, man, you should buy gold with it. And I'm just like, this is going to be every time now I tell him I have any money for anything, it's going to be, oh, you should buy gold. I'm like, I can't buy gold with everything. And then, like, I don't know what my dad thinks. I don't know if he thinks I make, like, thousands of dollars a pay period or something. But it's like every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, you should – he'll send me, like, a link to, like, a little like pallet of like 10 grams of gold that like little like break, like it's like getting like a candy bar, like a Hershey bar, and they come to little breakable squares. He's like, oh man, he's like, oh, this is a good price. And I'm like, do you think I just have $3,500 just laying around where I could just randomly on a whim buy gold? I'm like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing over here?
Oh shit. I love it. I love that if nothing else, that man stick to the script. It is gold. It's gonna be gold, and it's gonna be gold. Motherfucker Scrooge McDuck is real in these streets, and he gonna be that. So that is what it is, y'all. So thank you, Dan. See, he came through even though you didn't think you had anything to say, and I always think people find that interesting and entertaining. So word life on that, kind sir. What's been going on with me? What the fuck am I gonna tell you about? My mama sold her house. So that's official. She closes on the 20th. So 19th. And she said she closed on the 19th and she's leaving on the 20th. I'm like, God dang, you ain't playing. But she the goal was to sell the house in Kansas, move to Virginia, be near my sister, and that is where my mother will spend her last few days of life. Not that my mom was dying anytime soon, but she old. Let's be real with you. So that's where she's going to, go live out her days. And I'm like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? She'll be near my sister so my sister can check in on her and so forth. Not that my brother doesn't do a good job. My brother hit us up the other day and was like, yo, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? Your mama wilding. So we had to take care of some mama business not very recently. So, it not, again, my brother does what he's supposed to do. But that's kind of nice. And so congrats to her on that. And, let's see. She'll be here at the end of the month, so that'll be nice. What else is popping? Oh, so how this is a random bit of random, right? So we're going to Tennessee for my family reunion, the 6th of June. Recently, my son's girlfriend, at this point, they've been together for a very long time. I might as well just call her a partner, but his girlfriend, her grandfather passed away, and they're going to be having his memorial. But guess what? Her folk live down where my folk live. So he was going to be going down there with me anyway. Now it just becomes like, oh, I got to be down there anyway because it's funeral stuff I got to go do. And I'm like, that's how I be going down sometimes, man. It just not that the universe is cool, but it works out like it's supposed to be. So we'll all be down there anyway, and that's going to be. It'll be interesting. It'll be good to see my cousins. Oh, some of my cousins, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my cousins in general, I ain't got no beef with none of my cousins. It'll just be nice to see them and, dap up and show love and so forth. And not in a funereal situation. The last time I was in Tennessee was when me and Box drove down there for my Aunt Dot's funeral. And so just to be down there and I guess under good terms and on a good time, I think will be very nice. So that's coming pretty soon. I got the email from Nintendo saying I could buy a Nintendo Switch 2 directly from them if I were so inclined. Now, mind you, I've taken care of business already. So if you know something, it's like right now, Box. If right now today, somebody who wants a Nintendo Switch 2, I got the email. I can just shoot them the email and give them whatever information they need to buy them a Switch 2. But I have my invitation to buy one from Nintendo in my email box right now. It came like a few hours ago. So that is possible. If you just want to buy it yourself and flip it, do that. That also is possible. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what's crackling in my my inbox currently. Anything else going on? Told you about my kids' performances last week. Told you about my son. My son's good to go. Vanessa's good. Vanessa got a new rheumatologist the other day, and she seems happy with that. It sucks that she has rheumatoid arthritis, but it's nice that she has somebody to treat her finally, and somebody she seems to like. So that's good. Bake Off show's going real well. We had another guest this week. We had Chris Stefanski, who was a baker on this season of the show, and he was a real fun guest to have. And we, we just talked baking. We got to do 2-a-days next week because Nick Jew's going to be out of town on the day we would normally record, so we're going to get 2 in next week. But the second one of that show, the interview was already recorded. I interviewed the winner the Tuesday we started recording the rest of the show because that was her schedule, and that's what I took the day off from work to interview that woman. I had to interview. No, that's like a half day. I think I took a half day. Had to interview her in the morning, and so that has been recorded. Oh, I just said her though, so I've given a bit too much away. But actually, that show is available. All episodes are available right now. So whatever. But I interviewed her a Tuesday in the middle or whatever, and so got that done. So that part of the show is done already. I just got to clip it into the show. So that's fun. So the Bake Off has like 2 episodes left before we're done until the fall when Bake Off English, Bake Off comes back. Unless something comes up in between here and there, because it's possible they do specials and stuff like that. So we'll do a special episode here and there. Anything else? There you go. Like Box said, not a lot popping really. You know what I'm saying? It's busy in a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's preparation and doing all kinds of stuff to get my kid ready to graduate. And I'm excited for that. And so sooner than later, that'll be taken care of, and we'll talk about that too. Next week is our birthday episode. It's our 12th year of having done this, and we'll talk to Box about that here when we get done, so we can lay some things out, get some things prepared. So that's what's crackling in my world. Hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of tea, a little spot of tea. That's what's going on. Let's take it to the mean streets of Reddit. And go visit the subreddit, I'm an Asshole. I want to put the fade on that. I'm unhappy with it, but it's all good. You know what it is? Every week we go to Reddit, then we dig deeper into the subreddit, and that subreddit is I'm the Asshole. This week, actually, I think I got a great value one too. I do. I have a great value. The r/AITAH. I also snagged one from theirs, but here, Box, are the options. Am I the asshole for losing my temper over bone broth being added to soup? Am I the asshole for telling my boss that I wasn't invited to the party? Did we do that one?
I don't think so.
All right, good. And then, am I the asshole for taking my mom on a beach getaway while my father was in rehab?
That almost sounds like the making of a naughty movie.
Well, those are selection. Do you have a first one you want to hear first?
Let's go with the bone broth one, I guess.
Bone broth. Am I the asshole for losing my temper over bone broth being added to soup? My girlfriend, A, 24 female, and I, 23 male, are ovo-lacto vegetarian and have been for.
Fuck is that?
They eat eggs and milk. They eat eggs and dairy, but they don't eat meat.
Okay.
I
draw a line somewhere, huh?
My first English college professor, my first professor I ever had in college, it was an English class, was an ovo-lacto vegetarian, and because he was like, I'm not giving up ice cream. That's literally what he told us, the class. And I was like, respect. So
I have heard of this before. So yeah. For approximately 6 months. So they've been at this for like a half a year or so, because she developed a sudden involuntary negative reaction to meat and some animal products. At best, she'll spit out the offending bite and rinse her mouth out. At worst, she'll get sick almost immediately. She's gone to her primary care and is seeing a therapist, but we have yet to know why she reacts this way. Any meat from a mammal to poultry to fish triggers the reaction in her if she consumes it. Even sufficiently meaty vegan products that imitate the taste and texture of meat too well can set it off in her. I opted to cut meat out of my diet as well, considering I do most of the cooking, and it's easier to make us both the same meals rather than worry about cross-contamination. I've grown to prefer some of the meatless alternatives of our normal fare, and seeing her unabashedly enjoy my food makes me feel warm and content. One of the worst ingredients that triggers the reaction in her is bone broth. I used to drink and cook with it beforehand, but nowadays I use mushroom broth, and I don't notice much of a difference because except when shopping as it tends to be in stock at local groceries, even when meat alternatives aren't. So there's just more bone broth to be had in these streets, I guess. Sometimes I even switch out instant ramen seasoning for mushroom bouillon base with dried veggies if I'm feeling lazy and just want something quick. We have a shared friend, B, 24 male, who invites a few others, including C, 23 male, over occasionally for dinner and a hangout. He's a much better cook than I am, and he invited us over group chat recently, even offering to send a few recipes he'd been considering making by us to make sure he could accommodate. A and I looked over the recipes B sent, and a minestrone recipe caught our eye, especially because it's been soup weather and I hadn't had proper minestrone in ages. We told him that what we thought, and he admitted that it's what he would have chosen too. He sent the time and a date to the group chat, and all seemed well. The day rolls around. We arrive a little later than everyone else. We get settled, and we serve ourselves some soup before sitting at the table. A only had a single spoonful before immediately making a beeline for the bathroom. As soon as the bathroom door slammed shut, C shrunk in his seat and admitted to adding bone broth to the minestrone while B was greeting us, and he felt it needed the flavor and didn't think A was really vegetarian. What? This is where I may be the asshole. I laid into C, calling him, among other things, a fucking idiot for tampering with food someone else made, and a piece of shit for doing it knowing full well it was supposed to be vegetarian and making my girlfriend sick. I told him I never wanted to see his face again and left for home with A as soon as she got out of the bathroom and rinsed her mouth out. Now the group chat is in shambles. A says she appreciates me standing up for her, but feels bad for causing a scene. Am I the asshole?
Well, probably could have reacted more maturely, but I don't feel they were wrong to be upset.
Yeah. Fully agree. They're like, sure thing, we can all probably be better in how we go to fuck off on people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you knew what this was, and you decided, I don't think she's really a vegetarian. Well, motherfucker, that's not for you to decide. It really is not. And it's kind of garbage that you would do that to somebody who you are friends with. God, I might have. Yeah, you know what? You know what I eat. You know my proclivities for what I consume. If somebody was like, served me up a pepperoni, it's like, oh, that's turkey pepperoni. But then I ate that shit and felt it in my belly that it was not, and it was done with intention and with malice and forethought. Yeah, I might fuck somebody up off that shit too. I might snatch up somebody by their collar, be like, what the fuck you think this is? So I get it. And because I know what my reaction would be, I'm not gonna call myself an asshole. Fuck, I look like. So I'm not gonna call this guy an asshole. You're okay, sir. And it's okay to defend your partner and from morons. What
got going on in the comments was people were like, "Hey, has your partner been checked for a disorder called alpha gal syndrome, AGS?" And like you might have read or heard on news stories recently that people were like, people being bitten by ticks, a certain type of tick, causing them to develop this syndrome, which makes them feel ill when eating red meat. Now, of course, she said she don't fuck with poultry or fish either, but alpha gal in reality does cause an issue with people being able to consume red meat. And I think somewhere in the comments, the OP was like, "Yeah, she do be out in the woods sometimes." So I guess it might be possible. So it might be that his partner has developed an allergic reaction to meats that are causing her tummy, some trouble. And that actually just kind of sucks. But Reddit fully agrees this person is not the asshole. And come on, bro, they couldn't be. Nah, you gotta protect your love. You know what I'm saying? It's weird that somebody. I'm gonna hope that was fake, Box. I'm gonna hope that was a little. Sometimes you gotta hope for the best. That was just a made up story that they wanted some Reddit clout or whatever. That somebody didn't really do something so assholey as to go and basically nearly poison somebody because like I said, she gets sick all of this shit, y'all. It's not like she just is choosing not to eat these things. You know what I'm saying? So uncool. Excuse me, didn't mean to burp in the mic. Am I the asshole for telling my boss that I wasn't invited to the party? I, 26 female, just started a new job. I quickly realized that one of my colleagues, Marie, in quotes, is engaged and is getting married within the next 2 months. It seems like the whole office was attending the wedding. I absolutely did not expect an invite. She just sent me wedding. She just met me, forgive me. Weddings are planned in advance, venues booked, etc. My friend actually just got married, so I saw firsthand how it all worked. I could tell Marie wondered if I was expecting an invitation and was hesitant to bring up the wedding around me. But I just never made it a big deal. I don't feel left out in the slightest. Then I got CC'd on an email from someone at the office, Joan, throwing Marie a shower during our lunch hour in the break room in a couple of weeks. Joan was sending out a collection so we could give a group gift, cash, to Marie. They also suggested we make it a potluck. Joan included her Venmo and also asked we email back with what we planned on Marie. Even if I'm not going to the wedding, I still believe everyone deserves to be celebrated in Venmo the 20, as well as sent a reply saying I'd bring lasagna. A little later, I saw the 20 had been returned to my Venmo, and Joan approached my desk. She said I didn't need to contribute. I said I said even if I'm not attending the wedding, I'd like to still give Marie a little something. Joan looked a little awkward and hemmed and hawed, and then eventually said, "You're not invited to the shower." God damn. I was confused. I said, "I can't go to the company break room on lunch hour?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yes." I asked, "Where am I supposed to go?" "I don't drive. I take public transit to and from work. We don't really work near anywhere I could go to quickly for our lunch hour." She said I could stay at my desk. I pointed out that this was a little exclusionary. Joan said Marie didn't want me to assume I was invited to the wedding. I said I don't at all. I completely understand. I haven't worked here long and we're not close enough. I'm not hurt by that. She said that's great, but I still can't come. I asked if I had done something to offend Marie, and she said no. She just doesn't want me getting my hopes up. Bitch. I finally said let it go and just said fine. Have a good party. The day of the shower, I sat at my desk during the party while everyone else went, eating my lunch alone. One kind person stuck me a piece of cake. Baller. Halfway through the party, the big boss came in. She usually doesn't work on Fridays, so it was a surprise to see her. She saw me sitting at my desk and asked why I wasn't at the party. I told her I hadn't been invited. She was clearly perturbed by this. Later on, she sent an email out banning parties of any kind during work hours. A few people, Joan and Marie included, realized I'm the one who told. They've now turned on me. Some friends say I'm wrong here and that I should have just lied to the big boss and said I was busy with work to finish or something so as not to ruin it for everyone else. Am I the asshole?
Fuck that. No. Y'all didn't want him there. You had the opportunity to get $20 cash and a gift, and you fuck around and find out.
Yeah, clearly, no. There's no way I could ever call you an ass over this. These people,
Yeah, you
play
uninvite
themselves.
me, and then you want me to lie for you? Fuck you.
bruh. Yeah, this levels to this shit. You want me to lie for you? You don't want me to enjoy any. You don't want me to be able to come into the break room and just eat at my lunch. It's across the board. Yeah, you did fuck around. You did find out. Now maybe I would have had a conversation with the boss to explain the situation a little more thorough. Like, hey man, let these people cook. Let them have their parties because here's what's going on. And after having had it explained to her, she still was like, "Fuck that, they can't party." Then that ain't on me. I've explained what happened, and the boss is still like, "No, y'all can't party." Then, bruh, what I'm supposed to do? It's not necessarily that I don't feel it was necessary for her to lie. It is okay to further clarify the situation. Besides, I wouldn't invite it because that dude kind of got a little like.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
like I understand where you're coming from.
But no, you straight.
I'm petty though. You know that.
Yeah. No, nobody's asshole. No way.
I would feel bad that the embargo gets put into place, but inside, I'd be kind of like, you had it fucking coming.
Yeah, justified like a motherfucker. For real. You even explained this. This is somebody's comments. You even explained to them that it was exclusionary. So F them. No, that's true. Because in fact, you were told, doing that part, saying I just can't even come kick it. That's fucked up. And they was like, what am I gonna do? And then that is where I'm saying I gotta look at you with the crooked eye. So you're right. She did already explain what the deal was. Not just a work event. She was banned from the lunchroom because of said work event. Yeah, facts. We gotta glow I didn't know this little sub does glow in the dark. So here we go. Not the asshole. They used company resources and excluded someone in the company. That's against HR policy, I'm sure. They didn't not invite you. They deliberately blocked you from going and told you to stay at your desk. They deserve what they got. Time to gray rock them. I don't even know what that means. What does gray rock them mean? You know what that means? Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad. Sorry, boss. I don't know. Sorry, boss. Asked me a direct question and I assumed you were going to tell her the truth. So I wasn't going to lie and possibly get in trouble. Marie and Joan are mean girls, period. Document any retaliation ASAP. I'm going to go look up gray rock them.
I already did.
Okay.
The gray rock method is a behavioral strategy that involves acting emotionally unresponsive to deflect manipulative or toxic behavior from others. The goal is to appear uninteresting and boring to discourage further engagement. The theory is that toxic people thrive on reactions, so by acting neutral, they'll eventually lose interest and move on.
Well, shit. Here's one more glow in the dark comment. We'll wrap this one up. Not the asshole. And then I guess they basically wrote out an email so this person could use it. Subject regarding exclusion from office events. Dear HR representative, I'm writing to bring a matter to your attention regarding a recent office event, specifically the bridal shower for Marie that took place on date of shower. I was informed about the shower through an email from Joan, which included a request for contributions and a potluck. I contributed $20 to the fund and offered to bring food. However, Joan later approached me and informed me that I was not invited to the event. She explained that I was not allowed to attend the shower in the break room during lunch hour and suggested I remain at my desk instead. I attempted to clarify the situation with Joan, asked if I had done anything to offend Marie, and was assured that I had not. Joan said that Marie simply did not want me to get my hopes up about the wedding. On the day of the event, I remained at my desk while the rest of the office attended the shower. Big Boss, in parentheses, or actually in brackets, later approached me, surprised that I was not attending. I explained that I had not been invited. Afterwards, Big Boss sent an email banning parties during work hours. Since these events, I have noticed some tension with my colleagues, and I wanted to raise the concern with HR to understand how best to handle the situation moving forward. Let me know if we can discuss this further. Best regards, your name. Reddit is really helpful sometimes. Because Yeah, I might be filling that out and sending that to HR myself where I in this situation. So that's real. No, not the asshole. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, it's one. Look, it's considerably better for my health and well-being. But events happen at the office all the time, and it was so much cake to be had in our office situation. One, we have a lady who bakes the shit out of cakes. So good at it. So she would always bake cakes for events. Then there's people who just come through with like a Costco joint or something like that. So much cake to be had, y'all. It's one of the few things I miss about office life. And I'm probably better for it because I don't have cake all the time.
The cake baker has brought cakes to our last couple of work outings, and they're still as good as you remember.
God damn. Love that woman. Last one. Another asshole for taking my mom on a beach getaway. My father was in rehab. Taking just what you have in front of you.
Man, I'm telling you, that movie. This is the script that some movies are on some naughty websites.
Emma, that's for taking my mom on a beach getaway while my father was in rehab. Hi, I'm a 21-year-old female. I recently took my mom, 42 female, and my younger brother, 14 male, on a beach getaway for a week after my father, 49 male, was admitted into rehab for alcohol abuse.
Okay, this is a little different of a script than I was expecting, but it could still play out.
Were you writing this, for another site? What would have occurred here?
I'm not saying that I was scripting it out. I thought the person taking the mom was going to be a son. The fact that it's a daughter changes the dynamic a little bit, but it can still play out in a sexy way.
My father has been a chronic alcoholic for years, and he repeatedly has gone in and out of rehab. Over time, my mom, who's a sweet and innocent woman who used to love traveling, stopped going out altogether because of him. He often suspected her of having an affair and would control her movements, preventing her from leaving the house. My mother, what's up?
I said that dude was cheating.
Yeah. My mother complied with his controlling behavior, simply wanting the emotional abuse to end. My childhood wasn't exactly pleasant either, and I don't want my brother to go through the same thing. I want to give him the best possible life, and I'll do whatever it takes to make him happy. As for my mom, I love her deeply, and I want to give her a break from the years of tension and confinement. So as soon as my father was taken to rehab, I booked the tickets and made reservations for a beach vacation. Honestly, it was wonderful. It felt peaceful without my father there, and I was just happy to see my mom and brother enjoying themselves for once. Being the eldest, I take full responsibility for my family, and I'm committed to doing my best for them. But when relatives and family friends found out about the trip, they started criticizing me, calling me shameless and insensitive. Some even blamed my mother, saying she didn't raise her children properly. What started as a relaxing getaway has now turned into a mental burden because of these hurtful comments. I'm left questioning myself. Was I wrong? Am I really that insensitive and careless? The opinions and judgments from others have made me doubt my intentions, even though I genuinely meant well. Edit. I'm truly overwhelmed by the responses I receive. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of you for your kind and thoughtful comments. I just want to clarify that the remarks and taunts mentioned came from relatives on both my father and my mother's side. The one thing they all seemed to agree on was that what I did just wasn't right. I understand it may have been a tough decision for others to accept and perhaps even harder for them to understand. But I don't feel any guilt because seeing their genuine happiness on my mother and my brother's face made everything worth it. That moment of joy is something I'll always hold close, and no amount of criticism can take that away. Once again, thank you for your kindness and support. Yeah, you're not an asshole. Your dad's not an asshole.
I found a taker for your Nintendo Switch.
All right. We'll go over it after this. Worry not. Glow in the dark comment. Absolutely not an asshole. The reason your mother doesn't have the strength to leave your father is because the way she was raised. This is a great opportunity for her to find her strength with your help. Life is too long to be miserable, and she certainly is.
I commend you for taking care of her and your brother and showing them how beautiful life could be. As for your dad, he needs to battle his own demons. I think your mother already suffered enough. You are an amazing human, daughter and sister, and you should be proud of yourself. Don't mind those family members. You don't need them. Facts. Yeah, any old, butt is just going to be a butt. So let him and don't trip off of it. You know what I'm saying? You're good to go. That's okay to, what are you supposed to do? Sit and be sad at the house? Dad's in rehab. Oh, woe is me. All right, slide out. Go live some life.
I mean, fucking John Mulaney got out of rehab and immediately bagged a new supermodel wife and got her knocked up within a month. He didn't waste any time. Life goes on. Let that man, and don't most people in rehab, they're off in rehabbing, they're disconnected. They don't know what the fuck you're doing. Go live your life. Take your mom out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your life don't stop because they're getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. Some rehabs be no communication with outside. I'm saying, why are we doing this? Because we're trying to focus on you and your health. So fuck out of here. That's just somebody who want to be mad. And so let them be mad. You had a good time at the beach and I'm happy for you. Fuck them.
You don't care about your father enough that you did sit at home sad for weeks while he suffered in rehab at a problem he couldn't control.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Anywho. That was this week's Ever the Asshole. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. This is where we talk entertainment. Box, what have you been enjoying? Let me pull up my notes so I can type it down what you say so I can have it for later. Watching, enjoying while you've been indoors here.
I basically played Call of Duty the entirety of last weekend.
Nice.
I am current on Suits LA, which I can't fathom that show being picked up for season 2, but we shall see. I'm Found came back, and I watched the latest episode of that.
Yeah, you were saying it had been last week. You were saying how it was gone. You was concerned it was gone.
Well, I think The Irrational got clipped. But Found, I guess they were on a couple week hiatus. They've got a couple more episodes in the tank before the season ends.
Yeah.
I watched 3 Amazon shows in their entirety this week. I watched Deadlock.
Yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah, so I finished that. I watched all of Kevin Bacon's new show, The Bondsman. And then today I finished all 12 episodes. Well, I didn't watch all 12 today. I watched 6 yesterday and 6 today. But I watched Population 11.
What's that one about?
So, Population 11, I don't know. Did you ever watch Silicon Valley?
I'm aware of it and the premise and so forth, so we're good.
All right, well, for those who watch Silicon Valley, the guy who played the lawyer in the show, the quirky lawyer of them, he's the main star of this show. It's basically this guy goes to Australia to try and find his dad because he thinks his dad took some money out of an account that he fraudulently opened in his father's name with money that he was money laundering for people. And then it's 12 half-hour episodes of, the story weaving itself and whatnot.
Fair. Word up. All right. Call of Duty, Suits LA, Found, Deadlock, The Bondsman, and Population 11. So Box been getting down with. I have been on The Last of Us. Still great.
Oh, my bad. I forgot one thing. I started watching The Mentalist.
That's basically
psych adjacent.
Yeah, CBS's version of psych with a white man.
Well, I mean, they both had a white man. But...
I know, but no, because he's Puerto Rican or Latin of some sort, as it turns out.
He's Mexican. He's part Mexican.
Yeah. So
and Gus was black. So yeah. This is this guy's Australian, so he is very, very white.
Yeah.
My dad got me watching it, but I watched a couple episodes with him yesterday. Yeah. So I started, and it's 8 seasons. Gives me something to watch. It's all right. I watched a couple episodes of the original Twilight Zone with my dad the other night.
The black and white?
Yeah, the black and white one from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
We watched the episode with George Takei that was banned for 6 decades.
Why was it banned?
So it was right after World War II.
So
And George Takei is Japanese. So the story was basically like this military vet had a Japanese sword that he had taken off of someone that he killed over in Japan.
Mhm.
And the sword was kind of like possessed by the spirit of the fallen samurai.
Mhm.
And when George Takei picked up the sword, he kind of like gets possessed in a way by the guy. And then there's like, a lot of things said that were very for the times based on the tension that had happened. And so, yeah, I guess like I could see how we probably, left that one on the sidelines for a while.
I always find it. So look, I'm not saying things should be banned or whatever. I feel like everything can be shown if accompanied with an explanation. You know what I'm saying? It's like this was a product of its time. It was real fucked up during that time. Blah blah. Yaggy schmackety. Let's keep moving. Here, enjoy this.
Yeah, or that's the kind of general idea now because like we watched it on Paramount Plus. It wasn't like we had to search on YouTube for it or the internet. And I did while I was there that same evening. Also, for the first time in my life, saw Driving Miss Daisy. My dad was watching that when I got there, so I sat down and watched that with him.
What'd you think? That's an Oscar award-winning movie.
I was a little surprised at how Morgan Freeman has always looked super old. Granted, he was like 50 in that movie, which I didn't know came out in 1989. I thought that movie was like mid-90s, so I was very surprised. It was interesting watching the woman try to be a good person, but struggling with connecting with a person of color on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like she was like trying to dance around the fact that like she liked him, like she couldn't like admit it to herself for some fucking reason until she had dementia, which I was just like, you have to get dementia to admit that this man is your friend. Like it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. What a time.
I was like, the whole thing about like him not getting invited to the Martin Luther King dinner until they're like at the door.
Yeah,
that was when it felt fucked up, and like I could see how he kind of like why he reacted the way he reacted. But it was also a little interesting for me to kind of like hear the dialogue that I've heard referenced in other things over the years, and to see where it originally came from. That was a little jarring.
Like, oh shit, I've been hearing this joke for years. Well, shit, word to Driving Miss Daisy and not Jennifer. What is the lady who's in that movie?
I have no fucking idea.
Oof, man, I could have pulled her name from the hat if had you not been talking about it. It just would have been there. But Driving Miss Daisy was. I don't want to look it up.
It was interesting how they aged Dan Aykroyd in that movie too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because at that point that's all makeup. That's not even we don't have the CG situation going on there. Jessica, man, it's not going to come to me. I'll look it up after this. But yeah, Jessica Tandy, I think maybe is who was Driving Miss Daisy. Now that I've given you a name, Jessica Tandy, let's look up Driving Miss Daisy and see if T was right. Rocka, Jessica Tandy, yeah, boy. Who I think might be dead. I'm not trying to be whatever to you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
I mean that movie was 36 years ago. She was old, so
yeah, she died in 94.
That was why I was surprised because, like I said, like Morgan Freeman always looked super old, and so I looked it up thinking this movie came out like 95. And when I saw December 1989, I was like, shit, I was 4 years old when this movie came out.
Yeah. Do you remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Oh, I love that show. I was actually thinking about watching that. I saw a video on like Threads the other day where some woman was dressing up as like each character and they were playing the opening theme. Yeah. So I was like, I haven't watched Aqua Teen in forever.
So MC Chris has a song on there called Candy. I love candy. Bubblegum or taffy.
She's my Hugh. I'm her Hugh Cronin. She's my Jessica Tandy. Is a line in that song because they were old actors who had been married for ever. So that's why. If you want to, go make sense of Jessica Tandy and Hugh Cronin from MC Chris's "I Want Candy," there you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny you bring up MC Chris because my one buddy talked shit about him so much that he was like an asshole and shit.
Yeah.
And then I must have liked MC Chris on Facebook, like his like creator page or some shit a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's just last week I saw some apology where he was talking about sorry for being an ass all this time and he's trying to be a better person and shit. And I was like, man, my one buddy who's overly critical of a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I take what he says with a grain of salt because he can be a little judgmental.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, man, he must have nailed this one.
Did I meet MC Chris? I know I met MC Front a lot because he's one of those nerdcore guys. You know what I'm saying? So he used to be at all the various tags and stuff.
I used to listen to the Boba Fett song a lot.
Yeah. So
My Jets. I'm Boba the Fett.
I might have met MC Chris before. I don't have any recollection of him being an asshole, but of course that was probably just the briefest of meetings at PAX. You know what I'm saying? When he was at probably the signing tables, they have the tables. You've been there. You've been to PAX, so you know what they have where they have basically creators row.
All cons have the same shit.
Yeah. So it's all good. All right. Like I said, watching The Last of Us, loving The Last of Us. This last episode probably one of the most really was a great episode. Episode 4 of The Last of Us this season, man. Just killer shit. Still watching Andor. 3 more episodes of Andor are out now that I have not watched. Vanessa will probably watch them tomorrow. So loving on that. Went to theaters and saw Thunderbolts. So fun. It was so fun, Box. And
yeah, if I can sneak away Saturday, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah. As always, bro, highly recommend you go check out the Phoenix Theater.
That's my go.
Heated recliners and $8 tickets. Maybe go. The ticket's so cheap you can buy the concessions. Just be real with you, okay? Also, let me put you on the game because you didn't know this. They Twizzlers is wild fresh, and fresh Twizzlers compared to what be sitting on the grocery shelves when they be trying to sell you shit at Giant Eagle. It might as well be a different candy. Straight up. Fresh Twizzlers, absolutely fantastic. Also, in general, I love going to Great Northern now because they got a nice candy toy shop and they got a Japanese candy or Japanese snack situation store. There's lots of good stuff to be had there. And they got a box lunch now, so that's why I sent you that picture from that Venom bag I saw the other day. I am currently playing Call of Duty Vanguard. Call of Duty Vanguard came out 2-3 years ago. And it didn't really blow up because, of course, the people are always mad about multiplayer. If the multiplayer ain't doing nothing, they never even talk about that it has an amazing single-player campaign. But but relatively speaking, I only play the single-player campaigns, and it's really, really, really good. And I'm very much having a good time with it. I like how they are telling the story because basically you're playing in flashbacks. You have a story taking place in the present, but then you flash back and you play through that flashback. I am currently going around a destroyed Russian shopping situation, and I'm trying to pop a specific achievement for killing everybody in that mall via takedowns as opposed to shooting. And it is getting way more challenging currently, but if I can finish off these people via takedowns, I'm going to pop that Chivo, and I'm pretty excited about that. If I can't, I'm just going to accept that I can't and keep it moving. I can actually probably I can probably come back to it later and play it on easy and just go through it, on easy because the difficulty doesn't affect that particular achievement. So, whatever. Murderbot Diaries. I have ran through all of them. I told you guys I've been reading them, but I finished up Rogue Protocol, Artificial Condition, Exit Strategy. I'm currently listening to System Collapse. And at that point, I will be current on all the Murderbot books, which is sad, but actually just in time because next month the Murderbot show comes on Apple TV Plus. So I'll be ready for that. Egypt Remix. West Side Gun and Doechii is amazing. And just go find it. Give it a listen. It's a dope ass song. Word to Dochi and Westside linking up and doing some fire shit together. It's really, really dope. That is it. All right, people. You know what it is. Let's get ready to slide on out. So we're gonna do this. Tap that up a little bit. Housekeeping. Do a solid. Tune in every Thursday, as that's when we both post shows and also when we record. Usually around the 8:30 mark. Tonight we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we figured it out. We got on, and here we are recording the show. You can typically join us live in the chat, jump in on YouTube and or Twitch, have a good time with us, contribute to the show in some way, shape, or form. We love that. Make sure to like and comment on YouTube, and please rate, review, subscribe, and share everywhere else, including over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Hit me up with 5 stars, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That also helps with our visibility, and don't gatekeep us. That's all I'm saying. If you want to support the show financially and got a few bucks tossed away, consider joining us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We've got merch over at tpublic.com/user stage Krunchy and Milk, all one word. Krunchy, of course, being spelled with a K. Consider shooting us an email if you want to at podcast@stagecrunchyandmilk.com. And feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. And hear from you, I believe we had a comment from the homie Carrie over on the Spotify. Let me jump over there right quick. Slide into the comments. And yeah, he basically was like, it's going down. Tonight it's going down. Because I did it's going down lyrics when we had Nick on recently. So shouts out to Carrie for that. Peace and love. Glad you're still listening to us. Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum. I'm about to talk to Box about him right after this. You won't hear it, but whatever. That is, of course, Lunchbox 2099.
In the podcast.
I am the internet's Tay-Rail 713. Don't make me push you to traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.